Hi, and thank you for clicking on this video. This is just a little video for you to get to know me a little bit and understand more about the way that I work and what our time together might look like if you choose to seek help from me. I have a degree in psychology plus a level 6 advanced diploma in canine behaviour with some level 5 diplomas as well in aggression, nutrition and working with dogs from abroad. Truth is, I absolutely love to study, and when I veered into the study of dogs 15 years ago, I didn't look back. But really, the most important thing that I want you to know is the reason why I do this job. Now, I live and breathe my work with dogs. I am extremely passionate about helping dogs be their best selves, supported by humans who truly understand them and know how to help them thrive. And that's because I know just how important dogs are to us and our families. They can make a considerable difference to our mental and physical health. But more than that, they are absolutely wonderful creatures who deserve to live their best lives, and I get a lot of feel good from getting a dog there. And what might surprise you is my goal in my work isn't just behaviour change, and that's because behaviour does not come out of nowhere. It is often the product of emotion, instinct stemming from genetics, and experience. Of course, if a behaviour a dog is exhibiting is unsafe for the dog or family, then we will of course look at ways of managing it so it is not practice. But trying to blindly eliminate behaviour without focusing first on what is causing the behaviour is fruitless. Suppressing behaviour will simply cause the unrest to be exhibited another way, or worsen the underlying emotional foundations of the behaviour and make the dog unpredictable down the line. And did you know that generally the biggest motivator for behaviour is safety? Your dog may bark at other dogs because he doesn't feel safe in an interaction with one, and the barking simply serves as a way of keeping the other dog away from them. Your dog may growl at men passing on the street, again because he doesn't feel safe in their presence, and the growling serves as a way of driving the passing man away. Now, of course, there are other motivators, such as simply trying to obtain a desired outcome the only way they know how, and has probably worked countless times before. But conclusions like your dog is just trying to be boss, or being stubborn or dominant, are very old school ideas about the psychology of dogs, and they are incorrect. And I want to help you figure out the truth of these wonderful beings, because there is a lot of noise online, and not all of it can be relied upon. Ultimately, my goal is a better relationship between you and your dog, based on mutual understanding and compromise. It is quite egotistical of us to expect dogs to do everything we want, exactly when we want it, and nothing more. It is easy to get drawn into obedience being the answer for all of our canine woes. But a dog showing unwanted behaviours is generally one that is coping the best that they can with the resources available to them. A lack of coping skills isn't a problem of obedience. Now, I don't talk about training with my clients, I talk about supporting. Our dogs support us in so many ways. We just need to learn how we can support them back. And ultimately, when you're supporting someone, you aren't just pushing for them to change. With support, a person may start to think, feel, and therefore behave differently, but that is not guaranteed. So depending on the severity of your dog's sensitivity, change might not be fully possible for them, at least not in the way you'd wish for in an ideal world. Because we cannot change who our dogs fundamentally are, whether they're sensitive, outgoing, more pessimistic, or have no interest in playing with other dogs. Just as we are who we are as people, the same can be said for dogs. It is important to note that I do not use methods in my work that creates fear, anxiety, or pain within the dog. And this is because there is considerable fallout of relying on pain or fear to control your dog. And I am more than happy to discuss this in greater detail if you'd like to personally. But this does not mean I don't believe dogs need boundaries, clarity, and fair parenting. In fact, a predictable environment with clear boundaries is one of the most important things for our dogs to have at home. Consistency across all family members is really important, and that is why it is best if all family members can attend the sessions we have together, just so we can all be on the same page. So my fiance and I, we share our home with 5 dogs of a mix of breed types. We have a guarding breed mix, terrier mixes, toy breed mixes, a Romanian Shepherd mix with a Spaniel very close in the family too. And we parent them in a way that fosters a good relationship with each other as well as with us. This includes boundaries with each other as well as clear cohabitation rules. For example, do not pee indoors, do not bark at every noise in the house, do not ignore me on walks, do not try to scrounge my food, things like that. Just things that make home a nice, relaxed and enjoyable space for all. And it might help to know that I have had my fair share of difficulties to work through with my dogs, past and present, including separation anxiety, severe dog reactivity, people fears, as well as compulsive disorders and handling anxieties. And I am on your side as you navigate things, just as I am on your dog's side, because they are one and the same. It's very easy to fall into the mindset of battling with your dog, especially if your dog is leaving you on the end of the lead, just holding on for dear life. And it can be hard to be responsible all the time for a dog who is struggling to cope. So honesty about how you are doing the process is important to me. Anyone can say they are not judgmental, but my clients feel safe to tell me things that sometimes they haven't admitted to anybody else around them. So no, I do not judge, but I also recognise that meeting me for yourself may be the only thing that helps you to see that. And again, really, the main thing I want to get across is that in the same way we aren't perfect as humans, our dogs are never going to be perfect either. And I do think we expect a lot from our dogs generally. We expect their behaviour to remain reliable and quite stoic, regardless of what is going on around them or what they have already been through. Trauma and anxiety isn't something we can always recover from in totality. At the very least, it isn't something we can erase as if it never happened. Again, neither can we fundamentally change our dog's genetics. So if your dog was predisposed to anxiety in their genetics, and then they have a terrible experience in puppy class as a puppy, that experience will fast track that predisposition to become reality very quickly. And it is incredibly hard to unpick things like this and always get them back to who they were before. It's just not always going to be possible. So often, the biggest visible change comes from a different way of handling a situation, just to give your dog the safety and relief that they seek. And that isn't to say that the safety zone cannot slowly grow. It can, and it often does, even when you aren't directly working towards that. But sometimes we need to spend more time in acknowledging and accepting our dogs for who and what they bring to us from their past. That doesn't make us helpless to their behaviour presentations, far from it. But we just need to work with them to help them feel safer and more able to compromise with us, so that both ends of the lead can be seen and heard. Now, this isn't to say that I haven't produced life-changing results. Depending on the severity of your dog's struggles, sometimes life-changing results can be on the horizon. And I will be honest with you as we move through our time together with what I think we can expect to see in terms of progression. However, you are key to your dog reaching their full potential. And the cases where life-changing results have been forthcoming are often when the dog is not presenting with severe difficulties and the dog's family are actively putting the work in most days to follow the guidance. Of course, we all need breaks from doing the work at times, but overall our efforts do need to be consistent. So trying something for a few days or for a few weeks isn't enough. Your dog needs you to commit for longer than that. And that often requires a lot of trust that all your hard work will pay off. But also, the end result isn't the most important part. It's the journey. For in that journey is an adventure that is unique to you and your dog. And very often, it's a gift of life and love. So, If after listening to all of this you are keen to work with me, then I am keen to work with you. So why not send me an email to get the ball rolling? But whilst you're there, do let me know why it is me that you want to work with. If I know that you've watched this and you can understand and relate to all that I've shared, I know we will have a great working relationship and you are exactly the kind of person I want to be there for. So take care all, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.